What's up, guys? It's Justin, and I'm back with another video. We got some pretty cool stuff going on here. I got a light ring just slapped on the wall. I have my iPhone that's recording this. I have my laptop in front of me. I have the ring light stand with my mic clamped to it. There's some cool stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have everything situated. This is a pretty ugly setup, but this looks a lot and sounds a lot better than the last video. I hope that you guys are appreciative of that, because I know I am. Anyways, before we get into the rest of today's video, I do want to state a few things. Firstly, I am not a financial advisor. I do not have a profession in finances. This is not financial advice. This is how I, Justin Ortiz, attained business credit, and me showing you guys what I did or what I should have done to attain business credit. Moving forward, guys, my videos will not have too much animations. My videos will not have too many pop-ups and edits, if you will. As one of my coaches, Montel, says, if you want to go watch some Looney Tunes, go watch some Netflix. Currently, I am trying to push out these videos as fast as possible for you guys, and as with much information as possible for you guys. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm not going to take the time out to really edit too much. If there's long pauses, I will go ahead and take those out. However, if I'm messing up words or this, that, and the third, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and all the flashiness, and if you want some dopamine hits, keep scrolling on Instagram. We're here to level up. We're here to get some information. I'm here to give you guys some information that is hopefully helpful and can help you guys avoid any unnecessary hills that I had to go over to accomplish and achieve the things that I accomplished and achieved. With all that being said, this is How to Attain Business Credit as a Barber with your host for the most, Justin Ortiz. Let's get into this. Boom. So attaining business credit as a barber, right? That's what we're going to be going over today. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is the steps that I took and the steps that you can take to attain business credit, and also certain things that I didn't do, which I will go over in the future parts of this video. However, firstly, you must understand what business credit is. So by definition, business credit is a financial representation, purchase and or payment history, purchase and payment history of a business that reflects its credit worthiness. This is completely separate from personal credit. The importance of having business credit is access to loans, better terms with suppliers, and the ability to establish credibility. The second thing you need to do is establishing legal business structure, right? So legal business structure is essentially an LLC, an S corp. I think there's something called a C corp, any corporation. They have them listed here. So sole proprietorship. This is the simplest form, but offers no personal liability protection. A limited liability company, which is what I have. So an LLC. This protects your personal assets and is recommended for most small businesses. A corporation is more complex. Like I said, this is like the next step. If you are the only person operating in your business, I do not think that you need this. However, again, this is something that you can look into yourself. I don't think that you need it. I think an LLC is the best route when you're first starting off. And then a corporation, as you gain employees, will be the route to go afterwards. This is more complex. It offers stronger protection, but it involves more regulations. The actions for this would be registering your business with your state or local government. So each state kind of has their own way of establishing a business, and there are different laws and regulations for different states. The next thing you would have to do after you actually establish your business, so establish your LLC, would be to obtain an EIN, an employer identification number. This is a unique number that is assigned by the IRS for tax purposes. This is essentially your businesses and or your brand's social security number. That's essentially what it is. So you have a social security number, and with this social security number, you are able to open up bank accounts. You're able to go get a passport. You're able to do all these things. The moment you have a business license, so your birth certificate per se, you have to go get an EIN, which is your social security for your business. This is kind of what allows you to go to the banks and say, hey, I want to open up a business bank account. Your EIN is proof of your LLC, for lack of better terms. They're kind of cohesive. Why it's needed. It's required for opening a business bank account and applying for business credit. How you get this. You go onto the IRS website. If I'm not mistaken, it is irs.gov, not .com, not .org. It's .gov. Any government website should have .gov, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty confident behind that. You go on there and it's completely for free. Once you actually, at least in the state of Florida, once you apply for a business license, you will start getting letters in the mail, and some letters will try and get you to pay for an EIN. Don't do this. Again, go on the IRS website. It's completely 100% free. The fourth step would be going to open a business bank account. All right. So why you need a business bank account? This keeps your personal and business finances separate, which is crucial for you to begin building business credit. How you open this, so you choose a bank that offers business accounts. You provide them your EIN, your business license, and some form of personal identification. So they're going to ask you for probably your personal bank account information. They will ask you for, again, your license and probably your address, basic information, an email address, your actual physical address, and your actual license, right? Me personally, my business account, I like, what do they call it, Justin? I like credit unions. I have Navy Federal. Shout out one of my boys. He got me into Navy Federal. I am not a vet. I never served in the Army. However, there are like backdoor ways that you can get into Navy Federal. You can look up on YouTube how to get into Navy Federal. There are like different ways you can get around having to have a family member, which is what I did. I went around it. There's steps that you can take to get around into getting into a credit union, specifically Navy Federal, which I highly recommend. And again, once you start establishing certain things, you can have multiple bank accounts the same way that you have multiple personal bank accounts. I can have a Chase account. I can have but not an American Express. That's just credit, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. You can have multiple bank accounts. The same way you can do that personally, you can do that business-wise. So 5, the next step that you would take is establishing business address and or phone number, right? Well, and a phone number, excuse me. Why? So a dedicated business address and phone number lend. Wow. So the fifth step would have to be establishing business address and a phone number, right? Why? So a dedicated business address and phone number shows professionalism and credibility. How you establish this, right? So an address, consider a P.O. box or a virtual office if you work from home. If you want to, you can use a home address as a business address. It has to be a home, not an apartment. It has to be a home address. As your LLC, like let's say you operate out of your home, you are more than welcome to. However, this is now public information. So if somebody looks up your LLC and the address is attached to it, someone can possibly know where you live. That is something to note. It's a lot of people actually use their home addresses on their LLCs. This isn't a really an issue per se, but if and when you ask for some big money from a bank, they will probably look up the address to see if you're an actual business. And if they see a home on the Google website, it doesn't look too legit. Rather, if they see some office space or an actual corporate building or commercial building, they are more likely to trust you. And use a phone number, right? So use a separate business line or a VoIP service. That's like a virtual assistant, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that. However, phone number. Use a separate business line or a VoIP service. I currently again, this is me. This is what's worked for me so far. I don't have a separate business line. I had one had LOL. I've had one in the past, and I couldn't keep up with it in the moment, not in terms of finances, but like in terms of like going back and forth between the two lines, because I had already built my business so much on my personal number that I just currently use my personal number for everything. In the future, I definitely need a separate line, but currently, me being the only person in business, I do attach my personal number to everything, which will probably get really annoying really soon. And so boom, this next step, I actually didn't do. All right, I didn't do this. I've had a website before, and I have a specific email address that I use for my business. However, it's not a business email address. There are differences. So I have a gmail.com Gmail, right, an email. However, once you build a website, you can now make your own email address, which is pretty cool stuff. So why? A professional online presence builds credibility and supports business credit applicants. How to set up, you see what I'm saying? You would go ahead and you create the website using site platforms like Wix or Squarespace, and then your email uses a domain-specific email address. So, whatever at yourbarbershop.com. You see what I mean? Step 6 and step 8, which is we're gonna go back to 7. Step 6 and step 8. Again, this is like the blueprint way, the black and white way for you to attain business credit. Again, there are a few different ways you can. This is quote unquote the best way, for lack of better terms. It is not the way that I did it. And so I'm gonna come over here to the left to show you a little bit of that in a second. However, we're gonna go back to 7 in a second. Let's go to 8. So 8 is build relationship with suppliers and vendors, right? So a lot of people do these things, right? So they go ahead and they get business credit from specific companies, such as Uline, Quill, or Grainer. These are like office space companies. These are companies that offer office supplies or business tools such as like money processors, desk material. Wow, the fan on my laptop is cooking right now. It's cooking. Anyways, so I didn't do this. I did not go to creditors that report. I actually don't even have a business credit card that reports to the bureaus yet. Currently, again, I'm just working with my credit union. I love credit unions. Navy Federal does not report. To the business bureaus. There are different business bureaus than personal bureaus. So the common ones that the average person knows is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, right? When you go into the business side, there are other bureaus. It's not the same bureaus. That's important to note. So what I did instead of doing these two things to apply for a business credit card was for me to apply. So before 6, for me to apply for a business credit card, I personal guaranteed or I was a guarantor for my business credit. So I personally built up my personal credit first. I did seek financial advice. I head up a credit team, and they helped me clean up my credit. They helped me get on point and on a straight path to attaining more credit. I am 23. I currently have a little over $23,000 in available personal credit. And then on my business side, before I moved in here, excuse the I'm learning how to do this a bit better. I have $9,000 on the business end, which was my first card through Navy Federal. Right? So in total, I have roughly $30,000 in available credit to me. But I got the business credit by building up that 23 in my personal side first, right? So what a guarantor is by definition is a personal guarantee. It's a legal commitment made by an individual, usually the business owner, which is me, to be personally responsible for the business's debts if the company fails to meet its obligations. This is important because it provides lenders or creditors with a safety net, increasing the likelihood of you getting business credit. This is very similar to getting a cosigner on a vehicle or getting a cosigner for an apartment or a home, right? So this then ties yourself to the business, which, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Me personally, I view my business as an extension of myself. I don't plan on messing myself up, so I don't plan on messing my business up. If this happens, it happens. There's no plan B. I'm full swinging it. So, what I'm saying, like, hey, ain't no failures. It's all lessons. What I'm talking about? It's all story making. It's all I'd rather be homeless because I risked it all with the story than for me to be rich, at 60 because I played it safe. Don't get me wrong. God's timing is better than my timing at the end of the day. However, like, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this is what I did. So I built up my personal credit. I had my credit team go ahead and take off all of my hard inquiries. I do have, sadly, one late payment on my personal credit history. This is when I was young, and I made a stupid decision. Let's just say that. But we're learning. That's the important thing, buddy. But yeah, so this is the route that I took. This is a route that I suggest people to take. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was talking to you as a friend, I would tell you to build your personal credit first. Because if you have good personal credit, it is almost a 100% guarantee that you will also have good business credit, especially with credit unions, especially with companies like Navy Federal or like McCoy Federal, or Disney. Disney has one. I can't remember what it's called right now. But like credit unions, it's more relational banking. So if they like you, right, and they trust you on the personal end, so I had a personal Navy Federal account before I got a business account, they are more likely or more inclined to meet you at a higher number than another, let's say like a regular open bank would, so such as Chase. They're more likely to give you a higher level than them, right? Is what I did, buddy. Anyways, so these, you know what I'm saying? So you would either do this or you would go ahead and do that route, the personal guarantee route. You would then apply for business credit. Right. So why this builds your credit history and provides access to working capital. Capital is, again, money. That's it's not liquid. It's not cash per se, but it gives you access to the capital. How to apply. So research cards with favorable terms for new businesses. So do your research, do your due diligence. This is completely up to you, subjectional. You can go on YouTube and type in best business credit cards, best cards to get as a new business owner. You can do all that crap, right? Do that, not crap. Research, excuse me. Do all that. And then all you do is you call them up, this, that, and the third. I want to apply for XYZ. Provide your EIN, your business address, and financial statements. And if you get approved, you get approved. If you don't, you don't. So skipping that, right? Not really skipping 8. Coming back to 8. If you do all this, right, essentially the goal is to continue to apply for business credit. So you could go ahead and do these companies over here, or you can just go ahead and start trying to aim toward the like flagship business cards that big time banks provide. And then just making sure that they actually report to the credit bureaus. I have not started this journey yet, but this is what I'm going to do next in terms of business credit. I will start applying for other business credit cards right now. I've just been utilizing the one that I have, and the one that I have that has the limit of 9,000 is how I actually built this entire studio up here. I did not have the liquid cash to be able to do so, so I used my credit to be able to do this, and that's how I've been able to operate from my beautiful high-rise in downtown Orlando. So, after that, you pay your dang bills on time, fam. Pay your bills on time. Pay them on time. I'm gonna keep saying it. Pay your bills on time. Pay your bills on time. Pay your bills on time. This includes your lines of credit. So whenever it is time to pay your credit off, pay it. Pay your credit off, right? Timely payments are crucial for building and maintaining good business credit. How to maintain: set reminders for due dates, use automated payments where possible. This right here, this is my cheat code. This is my cheat code. I use automated payments for everything. If I could do it for my rent, I would. All right? I like take the money. Take the money. I'm working to pay it off anyways. Take the money. If it puts me in a hole for a second, so be it. That's me. Automatic payments, and it doesn't normally put me in a hole because I'm pretty diligent. God has blessed me with the diligence to be able to organize and manage my finances. Glory to God for that. So 10, monitor your business credit reports. Why? Regular checkups help you understand your credit status and identify errors. How to monitor, right? Request reports from business credit bureaus like Dun & Bradstreet and Equifax and Experian. See, Dun & Bradstreet is the other one that I was talking about in terms of they don't have the same reports. So it's just TransUnion. It's just TransUnion. It's not the same. Equifax and Experian, it does report to them as well. Review for accuracy and resolve any discrepancies. So again, this is making sure that you go over your credit report often. Oftentimes, the credit bureaus actually report inaccurate information. And if you find this, so any discrepancies, any false information, you can actually sue and or, dispute any inaccuracies, and you can talk to a lawyer or a financial advisor about what that can do for you. Pretty interesting stuff to know. A lot of people don't know that you can do stuff like that. Boom. So 11 will be build a strong credit history. Why? Right? So a strong credit history improves your chances of obtaining better credit terms. How to build. Maintain. This is huge. Right? Maintaining a low credit utilization. So rule of thumb for a safe credit utilization would be under 10%. The world will tell you 30. You have to understand that most people are not financially literate, first of all. Secondly, you have to understand that this comes from the creditors themselves. It's a business, guys. So in most cases, 30% is a safe zone. And then what do people think? Right? So they're going to think, 30% is a safe zone. So I'm good if I'm at 35, 40%, 50%. Excuse me. And what this does is it increases your chances of maxing out your cards. Whereas if you think more of a, not scarcity mindset, but more of a diligent mindset, a disciplined mindset, and be like, I'm going to keep it under 10%, the likelihood of you keeping it low is a lot higher. Also, it's good because you have report, so you're using the card. If you don't use a card, credit, a lot of people don't know, credit card companies can actually, which blows my mind, they can actually lower your limit. I've heard this in a few cases. They can lower your limit because you're just not using their card. They don't think you need it. And this one, which is, again, huge, this is huge on how I built my personal credit, increase credit limits. As your business grows, request higher limits. So personally, what I did, a lot of people don't know, on the personal end, I'm not too sure on the business end. I do have to double check on that. On the personal end, you can request a credit limit increase every 90 days, every 3 months. You can call these people up and be like, hey, I need a credit limit increase, right? And you either get accepted or you won't. Most companies that I've dealt with, I only have 3 credit cards, personal. They all do this without giving me another hard inquiry, which is really nice. So if I get accepted or not if I get approved or not for the increase, it doesn't affect me at all. So literally every 3 months on all 3 of those cards, I will call them. I have a Discover card, I have an Apple card, and I have a Navy Federal card. I will call these people up. And be like, hey, I need a credit limit increase. And if you're doing these things, so if you're maintaining a low credit utilization, but you're using it, and me, I use credit for every single thing in my life, bro. People are scared to use credit. It's there. And it's there for a reason. OPM is a common rich people term, and it's called other people's money. Most rich people, they don't use their money. They use other people's money to make money. They leverage loans. They leverage debt to attract or to gain other forms of income, other forms of money. All business startups, normally they use loans. They'll go I'm going to go to the bank and pull some money out. It's not their money. Go read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I can't even remember his name right now. Anyways, yeah, bro. Increase your limits as your business grows. And on the personal end, if you're doing this whole system over here, the personal guarantee, that's how I built my credit to 23K. What I did was, again, every 3 months with the credit cards that I had, I would just call them and ask for an increase. And oftentimes I would get them because I was maintaining my credit. I was actually using it. Like I said, I use my credit for everything. If you're going to get gas, you're going to already spend the money. You're going to spend the money, pay with your credit card, and then instantly pay off the card. Oh, isn't that bad? No, they don't care. They don't care as much as you think they do. I promise you, this will help you build your credit, and you will have constant utilization. This gains more trust. You got to understand, they think that they're deceiving you. They think that, oh, like this person's going to get into debt. And if they see you that you're hungry and that you're actually using the money, you're using their money, and you're being responsible with it, they are going to be like, of course we'll give you some more money. You're using us, so you're using the credit, right? You're giving us a little bit of interest, right? They're making some money off of you, and you're responsible. We can trust you. You have no heart injuries. You pay on time. Yeah, of course. You see what I'm saying? And so get on their good side, man. Itch their back for them. So let's go to the last one, which is seek professional advice. This was huge for me. When I started my credit journey, I started it when I was 18 or 19. I had got my first credit card, and it was a secured card with a Discover. I put like $500 on it or something like that. And then a year later, they jumped it up without me requesting it to a regular card to a limit of $1,800. And at 19, I thought I was that dude with $1,800 on a card. I was like, what? I thought I was that dude, fam. Because a lot of adults don't even have like decent credit limits. It's actually kind of crazy. And so I rocked with that card for a while, for a really, really, really long time. And then I got in touch with my boy Jamel. Jamel, he owns a credit agency. And he was the one who started giving me a lot of game on credit. That's when I started to call Discover and ask them for credit limit increases. And I think the first time I called and I asked for them, they gave me like $3,800 or something like that. So it jumped $2,000 the very first time that I asked them for an increase. And I was like, oh, okay, this actually works. And he was like, yeah, man, I told you. And I'm like, okay, bet. And so I did that. And then I ended up applying for the Apple Card later, which I forget what they approved me for in the beginning, but it was a decent number. And then I just kept doing that with those two cards. I just kept every 3 months. I was using them wisely, right? My Apple Card is pretty much the card that I use for everything, which is very stupid. The Apple Card is not the best card to use. And I know that, but it's just accessible for me. And it makes sense for me currently. But it is not I don't want you guys to think that like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go get the Apple Card because Justin said so. There's a lot of other better cards on the market. It's really functional. Sometimes I forget my wallet upstairs. I go downstairs, I get something, you know what I'm saying? Or it's double click, boom. They have a savings account too that has a crazy like, interest on it that you can, save, like a crazy high yield savings account, which is insane. And so like all the cash back goes straight into the savings account. It's functional for me currently. However, I do want to transition into a better cash rewards or cashback card as my main card. But currently, this is the main card that I'm using, and it's super easy to pay off too. They make it super functional. Apple knows how to make something really user friendly, and even if it's a worse thing, they know how to make it so user friendly that you just want to use the thing. And that's they've gotten to me in that area. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much how I built my credit. Using those two cards, and then I eventually applied for the Navy Federal card, got approved for that. And then once I moved into my apartment, I had liquid. I could have bought all the equipment myself, but I was just like, why do it? Why spend the liquid when you can go OPM, you can go use other people's money, and then I can, like, what I've been doing is paying off that card the entire 15-month lease that I have here. Why spend it all initially? You know what I'm saying? You never know when another 2020 is going to happen. You never know when you need liquid, So, keep it. OPM, use other people's money and strategize it. Use debt wisely. It's something to be used. It's not something to be abused. Something to be used, not something to be abused. Also, don't be scared of credit, though. If you need it, use it. That's what it's there for. You know what I mean? Also understand the which I just learned, the art of bankruptcy. This is what I'm learning. Bro, I did not know that as a person you can file for bankruptcy. I can restart this thing. I did not know this. I thought only businesses could file for bankruptcy. No, a person can file for bankruptcy. So if I max out my cards and I crash and burn, which won't happen because God is good. It won't happen. God is good. In the case that it happens and I crash and burn, bruh, go ahead and get in some more debt, file the whole bankruptcy, and then it's all vanished. It's all gone. And then I just have to restart. And then in another 2 years, knowing what I know now, I will probably be in a lot better position because I just learned a lesson. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do hope that this entire thing right here is a lot better for you guys too, because I think that this is pretty cool. I am going to get a mount over here soon. I possibly will be getting an actual camera soon, and some better lighting because this is ghetto. And I hope that you guys are enjoying all this, though. It's going to be getting better and better. Every video is going to be getting better and better. I hope that you guys enjoy this. If you like the content, subscribe. If you didn't, don't. God is good regardless, and you're amazing regardless. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Out. Peace. I'm out.